kinda wicked. They make the West Indies team look so bad. We was in all kind of trouble. Joey Carew pull a muscle. Clive Lloyd get about 3 run out. We was in trouble without a doubt. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Venkataraghavan, Bedi in a turban, Vijay Jaishima, Jayantilal. They helped to win the series against the West Indies at Sabina Park and Queen's Park Oval. 158 by Kanai, really sent our hopes up high. Noriega 9 for 95, the Indian team they still survive. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Janjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies tried holder and keep boys. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a shot and they're sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out Holford in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son. He made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all you listeners out there, those of you in your commute to and from work, those of you who are now picking up work, and those of you who are leaving work after a hard day's labor. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the drivers out there. Good afternoon to everyone who is tuned in on Street 91.9 FM. We want to say welcome and thanks for joining in. Good afternoon, most certainly to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil Iwer George himself, and his family, and by extension, his staff. We must not fail to give credit to the hard-working staff that he has, and to Mr. George himself. We openly say thank you for sharing your platform openly, and I underline openly, in an age where the media is under constant threat and scrutiny and pressure to report certain types of news or only discuss certain types of matters. Not only in Trinidad, we've seen it internationally as well, where a particular gentleman tinkers with media personnel and news personnel, and seemingly at his own will and his own whim and fancy. So we do say thank you to Mr. George for allowing us to share this platform with the pavilion in this cricket match. You know, sometimes the discussion could be heated in the dressing room. Sometimes even in the pavilion you hear somebody who is unsatisfied with a batsman or a bowler. You could hear some colorful language, and all of that is part of the cricket and the atmosphere that we know it. You know, sports and brings out a certain character in us for those of us who are passionate about sport. And since we are using this metaphor to replicate what happens in real life, some of us are even more passionate about the things that happen in real life. Some of us go through the day blase, as they say, unconcerned about the unknown passerby. Others are very in tune into what is going on in our country. We see ourselves affected. We do not wait for our house to be on fire. We take preemptive action. And then you have the wagonists who are into the Mowelang and the old talk and the bacchanal. All that makes up a colorful pavilion in the cricket match. Some people in the cricket match know anything about cricket. You know, some have gone for the lime. Some had nothing to do. Some get a free ticket. We have a lot of people enjoying a cricket match, you know. Some don't like cricket at all, and they pretend to, but they're in the stands and they're there having a very good time to the music and the atmosphere and the ambience that is the party stand, or any of the Mount in Jamaica, any of the at Savannah. So we have a multiplicity and a different types of people at the cricket match. At the cricket match, we have different types of people all in the pavilion, taking in the cricket match, watching, observing. Not everybody knows the score. Some people don't understand the game. Some people are very in tune. Some people are well observant. Some people didn't see, they only hear. Some people thought they see what they saw, but didn't see. Different things happen in this cricket match. If you've ever been to cricket, whether it be the T20 or the test match, if you've ever been to the cricket, you know sometimes there are a lot of dynamics at play. And it is the same in this colorful land of Trinidad and Tobago. Some things tend to be more serious than others. Some things tend to be more fatal. And that heterogeneous mixture of characters, of interests, of morals, all of that blend makes up the pavilion, makes up this nation, this republic that is Trinidad and Tobago. So just as it is in cricket, so it is in real life. We do have different people in this pavilion of life. Some watching on, some secretly batting for, some backing both sides. And as I'm on that point, it is a good point to welcome in Senior Matterson. Senior Matterson, there are people in the match. Any side win, it don't matter to them, they backing both sides, When you arguing for the batsmen or you arguing for the bowlers, it have some people there, they backing both sides really,
That's why we are impartial here.
Yes.
That's why we are impartial here. And we try to analyze the thing as we see it.
Yeah.
Using our own judgment,
Yes.
experience,
Yeah.
and knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to be here this evening. Good evening to all those listeners. And we look forward to a good cricket match today.
Yes, and as I was saying that, the CLR was so right in his beyond the boundary metaphor. Cricket, so much of our life is imitated in cricket.
Correct.
And vice versa, because you would feel that somebody in a West Indies shirt, not back in India, and you would feel somebody.
I know why I say that.
Yes, and you would feel somebody in a Indian team shirt don't have a love for the West Indies, and in their heart they might be watching Laran ball hit the ball over the boundary, but it can't something that they can say. So sometimes when
that's the thing about cricket, boy.
Yeah.
It brings out a certain kind of
Yeah.
of feeling. Sometimes you just want to support good batting.
Good batting. At the end of the day, we want to see good cricket. So sometimes it's hard to distinguish the supporters, and as usual, we have the fanatics, because we have that on this program as well. Okay, this program is so dynamic. We give voice to the fanatics too. We know they are fanatics on both sides. Let me repeat it: they are fanatics on both sides. So for some people, all the ball will be bad balls. And for some people, that batsman could never bat. He could never bat. He could do what? Good. And so our partner, our good friend Philip, my minister, may hit a ball over the boundary, and people will say, nah, that wasn't a good ball. Good. So people have their allegiances. And some allegiances are blind. And unfortunately, that too is life. It's not only in cricket. Some people's allegiances are blind. Some people, no ball is a good ball.
As we are experienced and batsmen in other areas ourselves, we understand when performance management
Yes.
is done poorly.
Yes.
And, sometimes we have managers use subjective criteria to manage the performance or to praise their employees, sometimes without even thinking how it's going to affect the whole thing at the end of the day, when really and truly you're looking for performance.
Yeah.
So it's no different.
Yes.
And but we are here to call it out.
We are here to call it out. And on that point, we may not get there today, Senior. But I was very, very aware of a issue that is growing in Tutor in the union concerning that performance management that they are engaged in. I have much to say on it. But maybe not today, but definitely this week we will get to it, because that is a very critical aspect.
I mentioned that because only today I was listening to a program on my way down from a meeting in South. I was listening to a program on the radio where someone from, I think it was from Tutor, was talking about the teaching methods, not just teaching methods, but the challenges teachers have, and was talking about how they can eradicate or what they can do to address fighting and bad behavior and that kind of thing in schools. And I was thinking, I was only hearing linear thinking without critical thinking, because he was saying that they need to employ more of the social workers and that kind of thing in school. And while that is good, and I didn't hear the intervention of parents and the Parent Teachers Association. And to me, that is one of the most critical things that we need to see, and it maybe that association has to be given more teeth by the government or by some kind of legislation, because the PTA was enacted by act of parliament, by the way.
Yes.
But really and truly, what we need to see is to make PTA kind of mandatory. Parents in school. So if parents have to be given time off at least to attend PTA meetings, I mean, I had two children from going to different schools, right? And one went to St. Mary's College, and the other one went to Tranquility. And I always say, when there's a parent meeting in St. Mary's, sometimes I felt as though there were 3 parents to a child. And that meeting used to happen in the middle of the day, right? Whereas when there's a parent-teachers meeting in Tranquil, in a school where there were 900 and something students, you just had about, sometimes, if you had 6 parents, that plenty. And that says a lot.
And it's wonderful that you've gone there, Senior, because we're going to deal with the aspect of this burning issue with Angelo, the missing child. And I have not been in tune with the angles and the discussions that you've had before.
But I know you was away all of last week and week before.
But today, we want to zero in to what has been coming to light about parents' responsibility when it comes to children. And so it is in normal life, it is in education as well. You're very, very correct. And I am really happy that you have pointed Mr. Ash, Mr. Tutor President. This is free advice. Free progressive advice. That there should be a labor aspect towards parents being able to visit schools. Good?
I've been saying that for years.
That should be number 1 on your agenda, because that connection, and even where a parent is absent, therein lies the data that we need. Because some children, I did remember teaching a child who was living on his own. I didn't understand how you could be living on your own, but circumstances, there are children in diverse circumstances. So he sent himself to school.
So he had to attend himself to PTA meeting.
Correct. So you could imagine what world. Now, I did not grow up like that, thank God, for I was fortunate. But we must not always take that everyone's circumstances are the same. So that is something that should be high on the agenda in a progressive teachers association. But that too we will get to. We will spend a show on it. We will discuss it and dedicate and have some of the teachers call in and discuss some of the matters. But there's been a lot going on behind the scenes where it concerns that, and I am not pleased at the manner in which, a lot of this is being conducted, because performance management is so critical.
So critical. I mean,
it's so critical.
But you're talking about performance management all around. And trying to be, we are so backward with even how we manage people in the workplace. Most organization or most workplace does not have the tools to manage performance properly, subjectively, or objectively, I should say. And therefore you end up running, which is why you have so much matters in the court.
Yes.
Which is why you have so much matters. You cannot really measure performance subjectively just by, your own whim and fancy.
Yes.
There are software and that kind of thing to be able to do that.
And then, as I was trying to...
KPIs and that kind of thing. And if you don't use those software, those HRIS systems or whatever, then you'll always get it wrong.
Yeah. And I was sharing with some of my friends on the General Council when the union was trying to have their, in my point of view, a very clandestine meeting, that, listen to me, you can't afford to get this thing wrong. And if you understand performance management system, especially post-employment, you'd understand that some things that you may or may not want to introduce will tinker with terms and conditions of employment.
Of course.
And before you agree with, and that is why you need a specialist, which is really, I was trying to tell them, they have a council that maybe we're trying to discuss matters, God knows how. But if you don't understand the fundamentals of industrial relations and how performance management relates, and you are pro it, because I am pro performance management, I was saying that. So there's not a case of whether you don't want it or you want it. You should have it. However, it is not something to take it upon yourself to just willy-nilly sanction or resist. Either way, without studying and having the appropriate expertise to explain it to your workers.
When I tell people HR is a science, it's a mathematical thing. Yeah. And they don't understand what you mean by that. But everything today in the workplace to get the best is done by data. And the right kind of performance management systems gives you that.
Yeah. Because a smart employer, let me go on this side of the fence, I will introduce certain things in your performance management system, in your appraisals, that were not really part of your job,
And to get rid of you, sometimes to get rid of you.
Exactly. Exactly. That is where it's leading to.
Exactly.
If that's where it's leading to. So that is something we want to visit. I was totally, I could say it now because I could say it now. I was totally unimpressed in the manner in which Tutor was going about discussions, private, secret discussions about performance management. They believe that the subgrouping has more knowledge than the wider body.
But was that within their remit, or that is...
Finally.
No,
but you understand how the political systems work.
I know that...
Even in politics. So, for instance, when they say the general council of any organization decides, sometimes that's where it goes first.
Yeah, but the employer is not Tutor.
No.
So, this is for teachers you're talking about?
Yes, it's for teachers.
So, where's the ministry in all of this?
Well, the ministry may have approached the union on the matter,
okay,
and they had discussions,
okay.
Right? So it is really how
because they have a collective agreement. So
of course. So it is really how the union goes about, Now, I think it's in good conscience that the ministry, and I don't know if they should do it totally, left it up to the union to listen to me. You all get the word out there. Good? I don't know what the motives are, but that word seems to be among a selective few, which I have serious issues with, because performance management has too much implication in industrial relations, and it is too important for productivity, because we want good teachers, you want better teachers, you want better systems, and you want better educational output from the employees. However, that is a very large and detailed discussion. Good. We have to get down to nitty-gritty with people job descriptions.
Correct.
Right? And etc. Key performance indicators, KPIs, correct. So it is not a surface discussion by any means. So if you're having the discussion with the smallest group of membership, which might be a general council, my alarms go off one time. Because this is a discussion for the masses. But you and I know that the trade union movement have been hijacked.
But it has to, apart from the masses, it has to be sold first to the employer.
Yeah. No, the employer came up with it. The employer is not the issue. It is how the union is going about. So
this is post-employer.
Yes, this is post-employer. It is how the union is going about getting the membership to understand it, or feeling that the member should understand. Because in our political systems, we are so savvy, right? And we do it, and it is the same in politics, in national politics. You appoint a body who you control to make the final decision. And while one party sees that as representative, the other people say that is easy control. We control the general council. Or you think we know how the general council is going to vote? So saying that it's going there is sending it to the cemetery.
Correct.
If you understand how the politics operates,
yes,
that's sending it to the cemetery. That's easy.
Yes.
That's easy.
But let's look at some of the issues that are in the news and see if we can dissect some of them.
Well, condolences to the family of Miss Bindet Mahabir, industrial court judge. I know you would have practiced. Look at that.
Yes.
You would have practiced before her.
Yeah.
I actually did 1 or 2 matters before her
that was
as
my
well.
really good friend.
And she has died.
Yeah, boy, and she's a sitting judge right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, I think that the last
But
matter,
I wasn't even, what happened? She was ill or something?
I'm not too
I
sure.
was before her just about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I had a matter with her
You
last.
was with me when...
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You was before her about... No, not more than 3 weeks.
More than 3 weeks.
Yeah, but we were before her not long ago.
Yeah. So she was appointed to the GSD in 2000. So she has a 10-year span in 26
Yeah,
years.
She was there for a while.
Good. And before she was a senior conciliator in the Ministry of Labor. So she, for want of a better word, is a practitioner by right.
Yeah.
You know? She didn't come from anywhere else but internally through the ministry and system. So I just turned to the news and heard that she passed. And very affable lady.
Yeah.
Very
Even some serious matters that for which I in conciliation though, because those were matters, those collective agreement matters,
yes.
PEPA and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate. My condolences go out to her family.
Yes.
I know her well. I mean, she knows me well too.
Yes.
We have share a good relationship
Yes.
in court, and I'm really sorry to hear of her passing.
Yes, and again to her colleagues on the bench, you know, we must extend condolences and to the court itself, because and that is the importance of labor and work. This is experience going here.
Yeah.
She will have to be replaced, but really and truly she cannot be replaced in want of a better word. It will take a while because she has tremendous experience. Right. And that is important when dealing with judgments for workers and companies alike, you know. So again, the court is facing a challenge because there were recent appointments to the court, all being new, and now there's a judge who has passed. A senior judge. So condolences to her, family and colleagues and members of the industrial court. So yeah, we need to find out about that. Silence is unacceptable. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says Tobagonians are damn vexed over the Nancy stories being peddled in the disappearance of a 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza.
That story is a story that we have been actively on to last week. We dealt with it over 2 days, and something about that whole story reeks of some kind of mischief.
His mother, Khalifa Tobias, and her boyfriend, Shannon Miller, remained in police custody last night as police sought answers to the toddler's disappearance. During a post-executive council media briefing on Thursday, Augustine said that there were more questions than answers in the incident. However, in a Facebook post yesterday, the TPP's leader was more vociferous, saying that he could no longer be diplomatic amid the unsettling situation. Explaining that he could not sleep peacefully on Saturday night as Angelo was on his mind. Augustine said every mother, every father, every grandparent, and every decent citizen feels the weight of this tragedy. He said the public is demanding accountability in the matter. Something does not sit right with the national conscience. The public outrage and heartbreak now being expressed across Tobago and Trinidad are justified. We have a right to be damn vexed about how this is unfolding and the Nancy stories that are being peddled. However, Angelo's mother does not believe her son drowned, saying he was afraid of the dark and the sea. Augustine yesterday also said he found it hard to believe a 2-year-old would walk in pitch black night through a ditch and obstacles into the ocean. A dirt track covered with fallen leaves,
But I said that last week.
protruding roots and branches separate Angelo's home from the Atlantic Ocean.
I said that last week when they talk about the sea log and all that kind of thing. I said like somebody trying to construct a story to lead the investigator somewhere else because that didn't make no sense at all. Everything about that whole story was just weird.
Mr. Matterson, as it refers to children in Trinidad and Tobago, and I have all the articles on the computer dealing with the disappearance of children and criminal abuse of children and neglect for children. Let me put it on record to say that our stories are astounding. It comes straight out of some storybook. From the Akil Chambers case to now. All these stories, he's fall in the pool and he disappear and all the make these children seem like they have wings of their own. And I want the chief secretary to be very open and less glib in talking about accountability and outrage, because my question to him, to who? And we begin this program talking about your parents. That's where it has to start. Let us not hurdle those things.
Correct.
Let us not wonder about, we reach the neighbor, we reach the man down the road, reach the man in the shop. We're going all over the place with children's stories in Trinidad and Tobago. Like children come on the earth by themselves. We're looking for the drug pusher. We're looking for the weed man. We're looking for some pedophile who come out of jail. We're looking for everything.
We don't come out with parents.
And we keep, I don't want to be too hard on the parents. A child got knocked down. We did the story here. Get away from his parents and was killed. And people have the opinion. And I think we have a serious issue with responsibility and accountability. Sometimes we good at police shootings. We good at that. We have no problem in pronouncing judgment with that and certain things. But you see, certain things, don't be too hard on them, But who are we holding accountable from the beginning? Good? Every lead must be pursued. Every inconsistency examined. Every person with information must cooperate fully. Augustine also said that the tragedy should force society to reflect on its responsibilities to protect children. And I dislike that word, society. Let me break it down. Let's start. Now, we understand the society encompasses several people. But let me be truthful. The former prime minister said something about children and parents and woman and man relationships. And it came across very candid and very raw when he said it.
Nothing else.
Yes. But I took from that we have to take personal responsibility with this. The protection of children is not optional. It is a sacred responsibility. A nation is judged by how it protects the most vulnerable. There can be no peace. So, the story has shifted to Studley Park. Good? And more than ever now, the evidence is shifting a little bit. Meaning the police investigation is shifting a little bit.
My narrative this last week, before I saw the story, was that this child appeared to have been killed sometime earlier on. And it is as if the parents would have said that the child went missing sometime 7:30 in the night. But it appears as if somebody was trying to delay the situation and create a narrative that the child might have drowned. So when they said that they think they saw the child in the sea and then somebody came back and said it was a log, all of that was this narrative being created to lead the investigation to the wrong place. That was just my opinion. I said that last week. And now I'm hearing that, well, I saw a video today, and I don't know how credible it is,
Yes.
but it appears as though the child was killed by the stepfather, and a lot of people knew that had happened. So when I heard that the investigation had led to the landfill, clearly it gave some credence to what I would have heard, and it appears as though they tried to probably dispose of the body probably somewhere else.
Now here's a graph the audience can't see, dealing with the cases reported to the Children's Authority for March 2026, and it gives the geographic location. And it talks about neglect is highest, sexual, when we talk about offenses, good, neglect is highest, then sexual abuse, then physical violence. And it gives the percentage by location. 355 cases. Correct.
And Penal, DB.
Correct.
Claro, all those areas.
Yes.
Tobago, wow, the whole of Tobago blue.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And in this story, published in what year was this? Only 2 weeks ago, news broke that a 12-year-old boy, this is stories from 2006, had been buggered before he was thrown into a pool, a pond where he drowned.
This was the issue with the little boy,
Akil.
what's his name? Akil Chambers.
Yeah. Dane Andrews, a pupil of Hindustan Government Primary, had reportedly gone to a man-made pond at Hindustan Village, New Grant, with a group of friends. After school, he never made it back. The child's lifeless body was found floating in the pool on February the 2nd, one day after he disappeared. An autopsy revealed that Dane was sexually assaulted and died from asphyxia, consistent with drowning. The revelation shocked the national community and brought back memories of 11-year-old Akil Chambers, a sexually abused child who died under similar circumstances. Chambers was found dead at the bottom of a swimming pool at a Marval home of a racehorse and business magnate, some 17 hours after he went missing. The postmortem found that he'd been buggered. His death remains unresolved.
Yeah, and I think a minister was fingered in this whole thing. And a minister was somehow a PNM minister at the time. Name was called in this Akil Chamber.
We have serious issues. Good? And this article, published on the 22nd of May 2022, former Children's Home Task Force member Diana Mahabir Wyatt says she remains shocked by Robert Sabga's allegation of a pedophile ring involving some children homes and the link
Listen, I know about
to
this.
officials in the Akil Chambers
You
case.
see that report?
Yes.
That report had things in it that I know for a fact was correct, because there was a time I had I don't want to say I was an officer in a home in Diego Martin, a boys' home in Diego Martin, and years after I learned from a boy about things that senior officers at the school were doing with boys at that institution, and it was credible.
In this next article, In her 2 years, Aliyah Johnson reportedly endured physical and sexual abuse at the hands of a close relative. It came to an end Sunday night when she was pronounced dead on arrival at the Separia Health District facility. An 18-year-old woman and man, 23, have been detained by police in connection with her death. The couple claim Aliyah fell at her home at the Maria David Trace, San Francisco. However, according to police investigators, the child's injuries were highly suspicious. Homicide officers said yesterday that they were awaiting the results of a post-mortem today to determine the exact cause of death. Police said from preliminary inquiries, they learned that the child had been a victim of physical and sexual abuse. A report said that around 7:45 p.m. on Sunday, officers of the Penal police station went to the Separia Health facility after they were called to probe a suspected case of child abuse. Medical personnel showed the police Aliyah's body, which bore bruises on the arms, legs, forehead, and stomach. There were also marks on the child's back. A female relative reportedly told the police that Aliyah had a bout of diarrhea on Sunday night. She claimed the child fell while the man was cleaning her. The toddler was taken by the ambulance to the health facility where she was pronounced dead. Relatives of the detained woman said she moved in with the man on Carnival Monday. The angry relatives pointed fingers at a man as they demanded answers. This is not boogeyman coming in any family to do anything. And we must stop that foolishness. Those are cases, and we understand that, where a lot of these threats are external. But from the data and from the police investigations that we have all had, internal parties / parents have a lot to do with these incidents, either complicitly or by negligence.
Both of which are serious.
Because children, remember we had the child who fell into the river. I think it was last year or year before, somewhere on the East Dry River, and a gentleman went in to rescue the children. But who is supervising these children? And if you are supervising a child, or you are the person who legally or normally supervises the child, and the child turns up dead, where do you want us to look? At a monster who came in from somewhere? Why are we doing that to our children? Fathers and mothers alike, and sometimes complicit. We've had incidents where there was no complicit act, meaning, the child was left in care of one or the other. But we also have a lot of incidents where both people were involved. So if you feel this is a male thing, think again. It is not a male thing. It is not a man thing. We want to say them men, them fathers, and etc. That is the data, the evidence does not suggest that it is a male thing. Let me look at another. No, that's the article. We have a problem in Trinidad and Tobago, and somehow we are running all over the place to look for people to blame. And I'm not saying they are not criminal elements. They are. There are criminal elements. But I always wonder, and I always say, children are born to parents. Before they meet the man down the road, before the candy man, before anybody else, a child born in a hospital, most cases, are born to parents. And one parent can't make a child either. So whether daddy showed up or doesn't show up, the child as of now, we have a talk to have with our church, the Fathers Association guy. Eh? We didn't forget that. We promised you that last year.
You had to invite him.
We will bring him because this is even more important here.
Yeah.
Because he has to answer, because some daddies ain't really being daddies.
Yeah.
Some daddies are not being daddies. That we will deal with that. But children under the guardianship and the stewardship of their parents. And that is even more evident sometimes, it's not all the time, in schools. And you hit the nail on your head when you talk about the Parent Teachers Association. Because I do not know what this society wants the employees of the ministry to do that they don't want to do.
Exactly. Not only that, there are parents who, especially in these schools where they see them as gatekeepers or where they see them as just like a place you dump your child in the morning and
Babysit.
Babysitters and they come back home and you even care about what they learn in school. You ask them what they learn here and picking up, you open the book to see what they write or what they have to do and that kind of thing. Or go to school next day, same thing. These parents need to be held accountable and they has to show some kind of responsibility for their children. The thing is, if we have probably legislation which makes it mandatory that you said that there's a labor component to this, that employers give employees time off at least twice a month or so to attend to their children at school on days when you have meetings, then schools may not have, because one of the the factors that frustrates the school even is PTA meetings being held after school. Some teachers just don't want to stay back to do that, and that is a serious thing, because if teachers don't want to stay back, some teachers maybe they're working in Port of Spain, but they live in Arima or San Gigandi or South or wherever. They are more concerned about getting home after 2:15 rather than to stay back in school to attend to parents of who may have children that are very disobedient or very recalcitrant. And the thing is, if we have legislation to allow for the school to have meetings like how they have it in the school where my son went to, midday in the day or 11 o'clock in the day or 10 o'clock, then parents in workplaces could be given the necessary time off to, but like with everything, sometimes parents abuse that. They may say they go into that meeting and they go to no meeting, or they may say that the meeting went for 4 hours and when
the Street 91 FM.
Go ahead.
Yeah? But the thing is, clearly we need some kind of assistance from the government, like with everything else, to be able to deal with this particular situation. Parents must play a role in their child.
Not if and but.
Must play a role in their child at school.
Yes.
Right? And that, in my opinion, apart from what the official would have said yesterday, earlier on today on another radio station, that, in my opinion, would assist greatly in arresting the situation with bad behavior in school. You understand?
That is well said.
Yeah.
And that is the beginning, not the ending, of resolving a lot of our teenage youth problems. Good, so because we could get a lot of data from that.
I know officials from the government sometimes listens to this program.
Yes.
But this is something you can take.
Yes.
To take to your legislative committee to be able to deal with, because this in particular will assist greatly. And
there are ways to tighten the system. Don't tell us that some parents don't go. We can put checks and balances in place. Right. Sometimes we always looking for some excuse not to do something. There's enough technology to make sure that there's a seamless and accountable system between a parent who should be given time off and somebody who seeks to abscond. Because you could do It's easy. We wouldn't even go into that right now, but the technology is instantaneous to allow for accountability where that is concerned.
So all these things are so very important, and I'm sure we'll be able to expand on it a little more when we come back from the break.
Yes.
But this certainly is another tool in the toolkit that could assist with that kind of deviant behavior in school, addressing that kind of deviant behavior in school. I always say that the solution for crime in Trinidad and Tobago is not just more police. I'm hearing that they want to put more police.
Yeah.
That's linear thinking.
Yeah.
It's not just more police. You have to address the situation at all levels, at all. You have to say 360. You have to critically think through this.
And often enough, by the time the police gets involved,
it's too late. Right?
because our criminals and our killers and our shooters,
They were bred from small.
but they are school age.
Exactly.
They are school age.
So we had to deal with not even before school and all.
Correct.
We had to deal with parenting. We had to deal with how responsibility. These are the things we had to deal with because these are where these young criminals are being bred by irresponsible actions or behavior or negligence and all that kind of thing by parents.
When I was much younger, a menace or a threat to a neighborhood or even my community was a big man, an old man.
Yeah,
Today is a teenager.
teenager.
We have teenagers running riots in communities with parents too. Some of them living home by their mother and father,
Correct.
and the parents cannot discipline them in any form or fashion. But we want the police and everybody else.
Yeah, we're talking about police, more police, and that is after the fact, that's besides the fact that we need to deal with the other more critical things first. And I did talk about a report we would have done some more than almost 11 years ago,
Yes.
right? Early in 2015 for the fielding side, and they never utilized it.
Yes.
But that report, if it was utilized correctly, it would have been developed on, and we would have seen programs and policies, government policies, to deal with certain things in the community and in the society.
We definitely need to do something. So we're going to a break. And when we come back from the break, we're going to engage the members of the pavilion
Yes.
as we normally do, but we took some time. Join us after the break.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
You've got bills to pay. You've got bills to pay. And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. We big nation, cause you don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together because KFC is life. It's a big D.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations, Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech. Exceptional service.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Peace of God be multiplied unto you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Redemption Hour, a gospel program where God will reveal His mind to you on how to live a fulfilled life and to please Him in all areas. Join Pastor Femi Afolabi, the National Overseer of Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Trinidad and Tobago, and other seasoned ministers for a time of divine encounter as they minister and pray for you every Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning of this station, Street FM 91.9. Our church is Deeper Life Bible Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows: Sunday worship service, 9 a.m., Monday Bible study, 6 p.m., Thursday revival hour, 6 p.m. The redemption hour is a life-changing moment you cannot afford to miss. For special prayer or counseling, contact Pastor Femi Afolabi on 778-99. God bless you as you listen to this program. Jesus is Lord.
So we're back. We're back on our program, and we were discussing what recently has happened with, well, the story with Angelo is all over the place. It's taken different twists and turns, and we welcome the Third Empire today. Mr. Janos, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And it's good to see you. You dress very stately today.
Thank you, sir. I try to make it a habit.
Yes, I will. I try to, but I can't afford it. So it's good that one of us could do that.
I only do it when I have
when you have to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to do it every day.
You have to do it every day.
Yes, but I encourage people. Dressing well takes a little effort and not too much money. So, for those out there who might be paying attention, it's not costing me a lot. It's costing me a lot of effort more than anything else.
Well, that depends on where you shop, because you look like Cliff Eli protege, and that gentleman is not cheap. Good, but not cheap. Yeah, very, double breasted, yeah. So
I was instructed by Senior Matheson to not call my clothier of choice's name on the radio without them paying.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but suffice it to say, to encourage anybody out there, if you want to go out there and make a good impression, it takes effort more than money. But all the ads runs already? But we listen to the whole set of ads run and it's going back to Sherry Live. It spins straight back around to the top.
No, it's played already. And it went back to the top.
top,
After
yeah.
Shady Live, it went straight back to the top. Yeah, so I will take your admonition.
Well, it's not for you, you know.
Yeah.
But it's for anybody out there who feel like the economy not being kind and they need to try a little harder.
Yeah.
Trying a little harder don't cost money, it costs time.
So you see, so you're saying we could get our combination at Bradford all the same. We don't have to go East Cliff. We could
You could go anywhere
and get that combination.
and get your pieces.
You know what you say it's very cheap. To do that. So I don't know what you mean by that. but
Yeah.
Unless
Remember,
you
cheap
say-
is relative for different
unless
people,
you
eh?
buy the same thing. Well, I mean, I'm a suit person. I
Yeah.
have to work in suit. but
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's really cheap unless I wear the same thing every day.
Well,
Quick fit check. Shoes, $325. Socks,
Where you getting
$20.
a shoe for $325? I Stacey Adams. So
I ain't no Stacey Adams. I can't call the name of the store.
What I'm saying is,
Yes, the shoe is $325. The socks is $20.
what's
The
mine?
pants was $150.
What's
The
mine?
jacket was $600. The shirt was $80.
What's this?
I see in here.
Stacey Adams.
We trying to reach up in our life like you said.
No, but what I'm saying, where you getting a shoe for $3 something?
I can't get them free ads. I can't get them free ads.
well, Mr. Llanos,
Yes, sir.
we were, I don't know if you listened to our preamble, but we were really zeroing in on parents' responsibility. We're using the example of the boy who is missing just as a precursor, because you could take this story from different angles. I was listening to the chief secretary's rant about, Tobago is hurting. We need to be more accountable. We need. But in my mind, I was wondering who was it being targeted to, because we pluralize responsibility with children, the society, we as a people, but we sometimes neglect to say parents. That's the word we don't want to say. Is it Yano's fault? Is Mattison's fault? Is the school teacher fault? Is the snow cone man fault? Is the football coach fault? Is the priest fault? Is the pastor fault? Don't be too hard on the parents now. You don't know they don't have.
Who's saying that there?
We say that as a society.
So something that we covered. I would have liked this to be Money Monday, but I think in honor of this young man, we should
Yes.
zero in on this particular topic. The facts didn't matter.
Yeah.
Systemically,
Yeah.
we have a problem with child safety. In almost every sphere of the operation of our society on a day-to-day basis, we have a child safety problem.
Pause there, Mr. Llanos. Let me take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good
How
afternoon.
are you going?
We're okay.
Relax. Out of the three guys, you're the only one coming across clearly. The other two guys, like, they're away from the mic.
Okay.
So listening on the radio, you can't really hear the contribution as clear as you.
Okay. Yeah, I am maybe
So
closer to my mic, so they will adjust.
Yes. Right. So I want to talk. I want to inject two unpopular remarks to this situation in Tobago.
Yes.
And I'm being a Leo. I study the lions, how they survive in the jungle.
Yes.
And what I've seen here, because we is men, right? And in this case, the unaliving of that child is similar to when a male lion takes over a pride. If this pride has pups, or cubs, sorry, my bad, cubs from other male lion, what he does, he kills them. He unalives that litter of cubs so that the woman, or the female, sorry, goes back into heat, and therefore he can service them and create his batch of cubs, right? So that is one of the one I see in, is my view. This is one of the trigger factors in that situation there. Because when you look at the child looks more Indian than anything else from the pictures I've seen on the internet, right? For the hair and everything. You see an Indian child. And when you look at the couple, they are strong African heritage, right? And we could see that this couple struggling financially and probably educationally wise. And in their world, in their circle, the man or the woman probably say, you know what, this child ain't mine, and this child don't even look like me. What people going to see? This is just one of the factors that I outside looking in to cause that, because a 2-year-old can't really cause nobody to want to kill them or unalive them. My bad. This has to be something psychologically from the adults in the home. You know what?
Well, caller, I don't know if you, how much you was listening to how much you was listening to what the father of the child said last week. He said that he was kept, for whatever reason, he was kept out of the child's life, and he said that he was one of the person who said that the story sounds suspicious to him. But you're correct in that way, but we don't know if the mother, there must have been some kind, and the father looks East Indian, of course, but there must have been some kind of relationship with the mother and the father for them to have a child in that way. So I don't know if maybe the father, and the analogy you give with the lion and coming into a new pride is true with respect to lions, but I don't know how to assimilate that with us in a situation like this, because we didn't hear anything from the mother. It didn't seem like the father, like he had a problem. I don't know if it was with the child, but he had a problem. Not the father, the stepfather. But there seemed to have been some kind of problem based on what I saw, a story I saw today.
Well, yeah, it have that social media woman there from Point. She had a lot of input and suggestions. But the thing is, we don't know this Indian girl. We start with the actual parents. This Indian girl is African girl. We don't know if they dated for a while, if this was just a one-off situation and a child born. Sometimes we as humans play fast. You understand? We play fast and then it have consequences. So we don't know if it's a loving connection, a loving relationship. Because the father, your child live now, what is there, over a year now? And we're going to Tobago. So he really have that to say, well, boy, you see me, I just make my little trip every 2 months or 3 months to see my child. Poverty is a hell of a thing, eh? You see that? That wet brown paper could cut you in with poverty, eh? And we could see, we adults here, we could see that the situation ain't too pleasant. And the girl, we don't know what type of, if it's postpartum depression or what the technical terms in this carry, that she don't even care. She don't love that man. So she don't love that man. She see that child every day reminding she about that man in Trinidad, that Indian. You follow? And now she pick up herself, because I thought she was mixed, eh? Honestly, until I saw her. And then I said, wait now. All right. This thing more deep than we thinking. So she wouldn't have a problem, because according to the person who was doing social media yesterday, she hiding and she ain't saying nothing, and she ain't really too missing the child. That there was your mother distraught and bawling and crying and a woman child, and, you know. She had to, you know, she can't wait for this to pass over and to move on, so to speak.
No,
but this is my view.
The social media, the post I saw, it appears as though there was some, and this is allegedly, there was some kind of argument between the stepfather and the mother. And the stepfather would have, I don't know if it's in front of her, killed the child. Right?
Right.
And call someone else to help dispose of the child. That is the post I saw, and it is allegedly, I'm saying. So I can't say that is what happened. Right? That's for the police to investigate. But clearly,
go ahead. The stepfather he's struggling. He's in his own world struggling, right? And to see a cub of our next man He ain't really he want and he liking. And he ain't really in love with this woman. She just for just favors.
But you come
begging
here,
her love you.
That's something real morbid, but I mean you could what do
But
you think about that?
I want to stress the fact that we as human beings have morbid tendencies. I want to stress that fact out. Plenty of we holding it down in society to function within society, but we could lose it. We can lose it like the father. That's the father. He want to kill the child. Let me play devil's advocate. He want to kill the child, but a blow from him. Boy, can't move from here now. Your mother is just like your mother. And your father this and that. And that child hit barab bit cupboard, hit head on the cupboard, and that was it. Child ain't moving. You know what I mean? We are morbid creatures. We ain't too far from it. You see any kind of murders and killings and beheading and come on, man. That's where we at. We get there. Sweet TNT get there. You understand? So I don't want to take that, but we are morbid people. We have morbid thoughts. But we try to function in society. Who can help it? They go to church, they go to the temple and try to get some sort of calm in their life. But out here, you looking at a man, if you talk to him wrong side and he have a weapon, he go pull it out and take out all his stress on you. But I don't want to stray, right? But this is two views I had. And I just want to excite the listening public to call in and maybe say against or right or have a third view. I up for that. I listen. All right?
Okay, caller.
So I listening on. All the guys take care, step up. You're not closer to the mic so you can hear all that. Nice, man.
Okay, thanks.
I'll take it easy.
All right, I'll comment on that after this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Umpires.
Good afternoon.
Good evening to you all.
Yes, good afternoon.
Could you go off script or you sticking with this topic?
We make a comment. We'd allow it. We'll allow it. One over the shoulder is allowed in the over. One over the shoulder.
Volleyball.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think you all can help me with this situation. I'm hoping you all could. Last night we were consoling a good friend of ours, a guy, to put it out there, Umpire Sige Horn. But how we dealing with it?
It's something like a Friday evening. Boy, go ahead.
Yeah, there's one say I don't know if to.
No, go ahead.
That's why I asked you all to come in the pavilion.
You want to hold it till the last hour and we deal with it?
I won't bowl it.
All right then, all right.
Let him go ahead now.
Bowl it,
No
but we'll treat it in the last hour, right? So go ahead, mention it.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So he get on umpires, but all he's saying is he want a dead. I want a dead. And thing. We talking to him. It's three of us. No, this man umpire used to talk so much love about this girl, much love and thing. Used to talk to him, boy, don't fall in one basket, don't put your head on a block. I could do that. I know I have. If all you don't know all you have, that is all you. That is the same man who wanted dead today. Now last night we talk to him. One of my partner cried with him because he was very crying and thing. But what hurting us is how he said he don't want to live anymore. I don't know if all he could tell me something, because it led to a kind of stressful. You didn't want to leave him alone no time last night. He ain't eating, he ain't drinking. He just calling she name like she never. There is a she name is Suzette. It's Suzette. You know, in this kind of way. So,
Caller,
umpires, I don't know if you could give me some advice.
Caller, I don't know why you say this is off script.
It's not off script.
This is not off script.
Well, I don't know.
This is exactly what we're talking about, because I don't know if you saw the social media posts, but the lady said in relation to this baby that was killed, well, we think allegedly killed, that it was a heated argument between him and her, and as a result of that, the man killed the baby, right? We don't know what the argument was, if it was a horn or what, but an argument ensued, and the baby died. Now, what you're talking about here is what we could probably see coming out of this is how men deal with these kind of situations. Now we know women are generally emotional, and they deal with, because of their biological makeup, they deal with things differently. But sometimes some men too. Some men deal with things very emotional. So he get home and he can fathom that somebody was eating from his plate, and or somebody was eating his meat, and that
The man in a mess, in a
I better
mess.
go and check to see if he alive still.
I will go far.
Well, right now, before I call the station, I called two of my partners and they are across it right now with him. But last night umpires, the man just wanted to dead. It didn't make no sense living. His life is over, and this kind of thing. And no matter what we tell him, like he in here, like going through one year and coming out the next. So I don't know.
Yeah, they call social services.
And that man, when you hear he talking the umpires before, the boy only he loved the woman, he love, and God send the woman, all kind of thing. But we used to tell him, you can't pay head on the block for a woman, boy. You could only hope you get a good woman, but. And that is the same man now who want to kill himself and so on.
So caller,
I will listen umpire in the
so caller, what you've said, what you've said,
something.
What you've said is not off script, as Senior Mattison say. But we will veer more into that story after 6. So please call back after 6, right? So we will treat with that separate. But it is related to what we're discussing.
Very related.
Because the mental health of men is not something we often discuss, and I have always said that we men, include me in that circle.
As a society, even men don't believe men should be behaving so.
You see, you mentioned the arithmetic of the problem, eh? We believe that love and horn are diametrically opposed.
Correct.
So we'll get into that, Mats, after 6. Thanks for calling.
Right, okay, sir.
Okay, no problem. So the previous caller went into some deep analytics and dynamics in
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Yes, and I thought that important. This was an important disclaimer because we are talking about something that is part of a live investigation. And we don't want to cross any professional boundaries nor any legal ones. I can't afford Yannis suit, so I surely can't afford any court representation in the matter. Let's take this call. Good afternoon, caller. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
I will just come in. I was only hearing parts of some man talking about some horn. And what was the real topic?
We were talking about the child, Angelo, that died. Well,
the same topic?
Yes, but we're going to the part of parents' responsibility when it comes to supervision and care of children. That's what we want to zero in. Because
I was asking the question on Friday.
Yeah.
If anybody knew when they saw the child before 7:30, anybody say anything about that?
No, we didn't hear anything about it. But certainly the police must have asked. Because there are a lot of investigations going on.
You said that on Friday when I asked the question.
Yes.
And
if you listened Friday, you would have heard what I would have said with respect to my suspicions, and this is exactly what is happening right now. The parents were arrested by the police, and it looked like a murder investigation now. So we are waiting to hear what is the final verdict. This reminds me of the Kelly Anthony situation
also here,
years ago.
Over the weekend. How old is this child mother?
I don't know.
Is it correct to say she's 20 years?
I don't know.
Yes, I think that is published in the article.
Okay, because what I'm saying is, if she's 20 and the child is 2, that means she made that when she was 18.
Go ahead.
Correct, right?
Yes, if all the facts are correct. Go ahead.
And then what happened for the child to come was happening when she was 17.
Okay, go ahead.
What was saying that what the village saying about this girl? The people who she live around. Forget the boyfriend and thing. What they saying about her? The character, how she behaved, because I learned this thing through and see relatives. Anybody say anything about her?
Well, the mother is 22.
You?
The mother is 22. So
The
that
child
bunks,
mother?
yeah, that bunks your argument really.
Or she's not 20.
Right. So it happens.
When you say the bouncy argument, what do you mean to say?
Well. What was going on might have been going on at 19.
Okay, well, hear me. I who was 20, that's why I went away. If you say it's 22, then she's 2 years older.
Yeah.
All right? But I'd say this 22 years and make you a big responsible woman.
No, it doesn't, but it's common that people have children 18, 19, 20.
Okay, all right.
That kind of thing.
So,
And
I understand.
And that happened since we were little children.
Okay, we're going through that. We know that. We're going to waste time with that.
I would caution, just generally, if I could stay, because we don't have all the time in the world. I would caution the listening public and even ourselves to not pontificate on the personal backstory here. The personal backstory is still unfolding.
Okay. I
etc.
agree.
But there are some broader societal issues that we could definitely zero in on.
Because when I saw and look at the place, they saw the house that she was living in on the news. Then I saw the father of the child. And I started to put, in my own little way, I started to put this thing together. I said, but if you understand,
now you
as
alone,
plenty people.
You understand? I started to think now way beyond and even before anything happened. About she was bringing. I started to think about all kinds of things. Because I was telling Friday, this thing disturbed me. You understand? And it's sad to know that. Anyway, let me stop here. I'll have a nice evening.
Thank you, caller. And callers, we zeroing in on parents' responsibility, because in the jurisdiction which I recently visited, parents' responsibility is 100. Maybe the shoe on the other foot right now. It's 100. You do not get to make any excuses. You are first to go to jail.
They're only halfway here something.
Yeah, you're first to go to jail.
Yeah.
You're first to be questioned. You're first to be detained.
Yeah.
We're not looking for the candy man,
No.
We look for who came to buy candy.
Correct.
Good. How did he get out your house to go and buy candy? Good. Because if we lock up the candy man, we still do not solve the issue of negligent behavior with parents, and which is the root of other things that Senior Matteson was pointing out. We see in the school system, because these children come from somewhere. You don't come out, but then we did note some children are raising themselves. That's another issue.
Feral children.
Good. But that in itself is an issue, because you did not give yourself a name and you did not sign your birth paper. That's one paper neither of us signed. We didn't sign the birth paper. So somebody has to...
Mr. Rolex, how deep in the country you grow?
No, I am a tongue guy.
You're a tongue guy?
Yeah.
I don't want to call the name of the village.
Yeah.
Because the village is small.
Yeah.
But
call the name of the village? I mean, why don't you want to call the name of the village? In Trinidad and Tobago,
in Trinidad and Tobago, in the far east.
Right.
East. Did a project there about HIV. And we're talking about a village where people already come out of the village. So. And I was there from 7 o'clock in the morning, but the whole caravan was coming in the afternoon. And people pulling me. More than one person, more than two persons, more than three persons. The young children in the area. 9 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. Are being, now we could only call it molested. But the fact of the matter is, in our village, big old men was having relationships with children, with the parents, tacit consent.
Taboo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And now I ready for fire and brimstone now, you know. And I gone up the hill in the corner and talk to the police. And the police like, boy, when I tell you that I back another. We want to touch it and we can't touch it. The same parents is the ones defending these nasty men to the hilt. And some of these men have connections. Yeah? Right here in this Trinidad and Tobago. So what I here to tell you, the reason for bringing that up, is that rural Trinidad and Tobago and urban Trinidad and Tobago carry two very different cultures and they go with some serious social ills. So when I hear something and you know the man say something about the cub, man decide to X out the cub because he want the lioness for himself. He's correct in his choice of words. That's the behavior of an animal. That is not the behavior of a civilized human being.
But what you talk about is a known fact in the lion in the lion kingdom.
Yeah.
When a lion meets a new lion, a male lion, a lion goes into and gets a female lion who already has male young ones, the male lion will kill the new lion will kill the baby the young males. That is a known fact in the animal kingdom.
We're not in a zoo.
Right?
So that is my
but that that is not something that is prevalent with human beings. Right? So I'm hearing that, and that song is very kind of like morbid. That song is kind of strange.
It sounds morbid and it sounds strange, but I'm saying to you that there are certain communities and certain experiences, certain inequities in education and educational experience. Quick one again. Big up the crew at St. Anthony's who doing all kind of awesome things for the young people. Chess club and archery club and debate club and film club, creating real self-efficacy in young people. And I asked the question in another school, in another area. I don't want to point out the area. Well, look at what St. Anthony is doing. Why we can't replicate that there? And the principal begin to list out all the reasons that is impossible. A school right in the corner by you. Why it's impossible to create those situations in schools that they are arranged in. That disparity is creating some people who are well developed, responsible, conscientious human beings, and in other instances we creating monsters.
Well, I mean, in truth and in fact, there are different kind of social disposition with families in these kind of areas than families in areas where people have to look for it when the day come. Which is why some of the people who are to look for it, some of their children more than likely they will go into the government schools and that kind of thing, and you will have the kind of problems that I talk about earlier on, where you just let go children in school and hope that the school keep them for the rest of the day until you come home.
Yeah.
In these affluent communities, they do not necessarily have those same kind of containment, right? You have maids. In most cases, you have people to see about the children when you are away from work. You have some parents don't necessarily. Some parents mightn't necessarily people who work like us, who work 8 to 4 jobs. They may have their own businesses. They may be able to do certain things that a normal parent who looking fit, who working paycheck to paycheck, they may have a different kind of a security guard who going to work, who working 12 and 16 hours, right? Just to get $4,000 or $5,000 to survive. Can't do what you asking them to do, right? So you have to think about all those social dispositions that creates that kind of thing, and this is where the government comes in, and this is where social services and all the other elements. It's not you had to think through this. This is why government have a role to play in this whole thing.
A massive role.
Right?
So, members of the pavilion, we're asking you to think about and ponder about greater responsibility placed on parents for the whereabouts of their children. Let's start there. We can go into acts, we could go into criminal acts, all of those things are derivatives. But the whereabouts of your children. Give us a call, 3420081, 4665391. We're talking about responsibility in terms of the whereabouts of your children, the movements, knowing where they are, and all of these things. And we can go down the line because there's some subset arguments. So give us a call and tell us how you think about that, because I drive around, which is odd, this society, even my neighborhood, and at various hours of night, I see children walking in the road. But I used to have to come in when the sun go down.
You dare not cross that door 1 past 6.
And it mattered not who was home.
Yeah.
Sometimes you didn't even know mommy or daddy not home. Get inside.
Yeah.
Not get inside when I home now.
Yeah.
Get inside. Talk done. But you drive around today, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you see children looking like they're coming from work. 2 young girls going by the shop. That was something that was protected. But getting back to your point, Mr. Janos, and I think it's a very credible point. There is a rural-urban dynamic when it comes to children, sex, and a lot of things that are different.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Now, the caller's argument where he infused the whole racial dynamics may not be totally applicable in this scenario, but the sentiment is true because we have seen acts of violence against children with mothers' consent. We have seen sexual abuse of minors by step-parents on either side of the divide, not in the absence of mothers. So something tells me that some people fight to keep a relationship and sacrifice children in the midst. So that is a serious reality. And in some places, it's taboo as well. As you say, everybody know, including the inspector.
Yeah.
But in a village where the perpetrator, the police, and everybody related, prosecution and police work is different.
Yeah.
It's not tongue when the officer from Pinal and he can't know, but he had to go to Pinal, he locking up his bad in Pinal, you know.
Yeah.
This is a rural community.
And very close-knit.
Good. Where you went to school with the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Me and he went to school, and I auntie nephew from down Boise. Good. And everybody knows since we small boys, he had a little thing for, you know. And sometimes it is with parental consent, and you're quite right.
And I want to point out another crazy thing. I could remember, I'm 45 now.
Yeah.
I could remember there were young ladies in my class in Form 3 who were already married. Married. We had to remember the legal landscape and the social landscape in which we live.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, they used to say after 12 was lunch, which was kind of extreme. But the legal posture in Trinidad and Tobago not that long ago was that the age of consent was 16. Not that long ago, there were religious groups in Trinidad and Tobago who had the right to have child brides.
And I like your thinking, Mr. Janos, because if you say that's the legal age of consent, that's not the legal age of invitation, you know.
Of course not.
Invitation that start years before.
After 12 is lunch.
Okay.
I don't know if, like, you know, that is not something they say in tongue.
Yeah.
I could remember when I was in school, in secondary school, Form 4, and we couldn't line with no girls. You know why? Because men putting on school clothes and jumping over the fence to come and line with girls in Dollar Jam. These are things we live, it's things we see.
Yeah.
And the generation divide is not that far away. So for some people, the idea of this being unacceptable social behavior, it can really catch up for some people, you know.
Yeah.
Some people still living in the late 90s and early 2000s. Some people still living in the 80s.
Yeah.
So the value system is still in flux. The legal position has only recently changed.
Who do we want to hold accountable for the whereabouts of our children? Superman?
We have to, in the first instance, there is a law enforcement problem in Trinidad and Tobago. Even the best laws that we have on the books are limited by the police's ability. And we've always tracked that back on this program, that HR issue that will be solved one day, hopefully soon. The police's ability to enforce the laws that are already on the books. So if it is we go to the Education Act, the Education Act is already lucidly clear on certain elements of child supervision. And I suspect if you drill into it, and I mean, it's just that I am not conversant on child law and family law.
Yeah.
If a family law expert was here, a good family law attorney, they will be able to tell you. A child or social welfare, a social worker would be able to tell you what the legal framework is. I am willing to bet that our legal framework is not deficient in this regard. I am willing to bet that the issue is how does an under-resourced and sometimes mismanaged police force keep track of heinous murders and children who are out of the streets too late at the same time.
Well, I agree and disagree with you because I think the two things could be true. Some of our laws have holes as big
Yeah. As you go for barrier.
as the Gulf Barrier. And we could see that because some people go in and out and in and out of this thing called prison.
Of course.
Actually, if you want to get a good money, get a wrongful arrest and a bad charge.
Yeah.
And you could get a little capital to start a business.
Correct.
So
But that's usually not the person who that's not, well, I would say the victim here. That's not usually the victim causing that.
no,
that's
no.
the police.
No. Yes. But the loopholes in the let me take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, but the loophole is the
Good afternoon, caller.
Listen to us.
Hello?
Listen to
Hello?
us on the phone.
Hello, good afternoon to the three umpires.
Afternoon.
My neighbor, probably lines for to take over with that three-man show.
The lines are open. Go ahead, caller.
Take call.
All right. So, yes, callers and please, members of the pavilion, the lines are open and you interrupt us at any time because we're talking about parents' responsibility in terms of the supervision of the children. Let me get basics down to the supervision of the children. Do we want the police to be in charge of the supervision of the children?
Yes.
How?
I want the police to enforce the laws.
That's when a problem exists.
If you do that, if you say yes to that, then you ain't going to have this problem solved at all. Because as we say, the police is the last leg of the whole thing, right? First, if we understand that it is a parent responsibility, right, from baby to take care or to be responsible for your child, and the thing is, if certainly parents may need some support.
Yes,
from
and that's the next program altogether.
From the legislation.
Because there are parents who are deficient in
Right.
support. We agree.
So we may need some kind of legislation because it might have some labor implications. It might have some implications for parents, single parents. It might have some implications for people who work in. It might have all kind of different implications. But we need to think through this because this could never be a police issue, right? Police come in after the fact.
Let me see if I can contradict an element of what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear you.
We cannot build a system around personal responsibility.
Okay.
There's no system in the world that could be built around personal responsibility. if there are no consequences for a breach of personal responsibility, then there's no systemic answer to the problem.
Well, this is what we say. I know we
Yeah,
say
so
that we need some kind of assistance from the legislative arm of the government. We need some kind of assistance from. We need to some kind of public campaign to let people know that they have to be responsible in the way in the way they treat with their children. We need a number of things to happen to change society and let people know that they have to be responsible. And the police, of course, will come in at in terms of enforcing that.
And that the enforcement has to be the starting point. And let me give you.
Enforcement will be the starting point.
Okay, I'm a fan of the Premier of Singapore.
Okay,
done a good job over his lifetime. But the problem with that fella is the day he closes his eyes, I don't know, he's trampled democratic process so much.
Who are you talking about?
The head man in Singapore, I forgot his name right now. But he has trampled democratic process so much that I do not know what his successor will do.
He's not the head man talking about Lee Kuan Yew?
Whatever his name is, I can't remember his name. But there's been one guy for the past 6 years.
No. Lee Kuan Yew not there again.
Yeah, you retire now?
But
retire, die something?
I don't know what you've been listening to. But the thing is, if you were talking about Lee Kuan Yew, he would be probably over 100 years now. The thing is,
yes.
The thing with Singapore, why people use Singapore as not as an example,
yes,
is because Singapore would have done something we think that similar to China, but we think that what is necessary is that we legislate a developmental plan for Trinidad and Tobago, which is kind of what Singapore did.
Yeah, Lee Kuan Yew was until 2015.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is
31 years.
Yeah. So the thing is you cannot. In fact, that's a very good system where it is not hinged on politics, but on development, people development in a country. Right, and that to me is a very good system. We may not be able to achieve that here because of our politics.
Because of our politics, you're absolutely correct. But let's just say you had a leader like me, who not particularly worried about elections. If my thing is, I have 5 years and I gonna fix it. Philip, good evening, Philip. The answer is simple enough. Police on beat. Walk the road. Don't drive the road. You see a child outside at a particular hour. That's a reason for investigation. You hear some kind of out of timing thing from a neighbor. Hey, Mr. Officer, part of our community, I have some information for you. I don't like what I'm hearing with such and such. That's a reason for investigation. Etc., 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 etc. And you live it in Texas? Not much different.
Well, remember I tell you the difference with where I visited?
Yes.
Is that they're not waiting on reports. You hear a knock on your door, sir.
Yeah.
Welfare check. Is everybody home today?
Yeah, welfare check.
I not seen little Tommy inside, you know. Where Tommy? Tommy missing? Wait, he went lessons? What time lessons finishing?
Welfare check, they call it.
Okay.
Welfare check, they call it. So what we not doing, and it comes back to where I started the conversation in the program. We are not creating a safe space for children. We have about 3 or 4 primary schools right around here. If somebody lock a child neck and run with a child, systemically, how are we making sure that child not getting out of police bail? In other spaces.
You see, when we have these kind of conversations,
yes,
I want us to be realistic, right? And there are certain things that we might be expecting from Trinidad and Tobago society that is impossible,
like
right? Yeah, just a comment, right?
Yes.
The thing is, we had to understand that Trinidad is not necessarily the U.S., right? The infrastructure that we are built around doesn't necessarily lend itself for certain things to happen, right? I heard that I think our police force is something like 7,000, probably 500 officers, and I want to increase it to something like 10,000. I was hearing that sometime today. The thing is, in my opinion, our problem will not necessarily be solved by more police. Our problem will be solved by other things, right? A fundamental understanding that we have to be able to use the data, we have to be able to use the science, we have to be able to use the technology, right? The system, Trinidad and Tobago. We have to be able to use we have to set up a particular kind of infrastructure, and more than anything else, just like in any company where you need training and development and things, we have to change our culture to understand our people, have certain kind of things in the system, that certain push factors that will allow our people to understand the importance of the use of those kind of systems. Right? So that people will automatically change the culture into how people operate and how people's expectation, the police expectation, parents' expectation, teachers' expectation, the man on the street expectation, all of that will have to change. And that will change, that is not an overnight thing. So for one, the country will say they don't have the resources to do that kind of thing, right? Because that is a very expensive process to even implement some of the things we talk about here, safe cities and that kind of thing, right? It's not like you're going on Amazon and buying the things that take. So we have to well, not, I don't know if they say to guide the government or guide the policy makers or whatever, but we have to see it for what it is. And the thing is, there are easy ways, in my opinion, to start the process. And we have to start from the bottom up. And I'm saying the solution could never be the police.
And I say the solution could only be the police.
Oh gosh. How?
Simply because there is no way to change a culture without enforcement. Without consequences, you cannot change behavior.
Nobody saying so the enforcement is always a police thing. We ain't talking about enforcement here. Enforcement, the police can enforce everything. If you're talking about that, then you have to have a police by everybody's door.
You don't?
Rowley say that no, you don't. You can't have that a police by every door. We have 1.4 million people. We have about 700 and something households. About 800 or almost a million households. You can't have a police by every door.
You don't need to have a police by every door.
Well, so we're talking about enforcement. We have to start with a different kind of, anytime we're talking about enforcement, we're talking about police state thing. We have to start with a different kind of understanding that we have to change our culture as to how we see things, how we understand things, how the responsibility that we place on ourselves to be able to do certain things.
Callers, don't forget to give us a call, right? Besides the discussion.
Right? So it's not necessarily about, if you just leave it up to the police, it's not going to happen. Police station is closed about 6 o'clock in the night in Trinidad and Tobago.
342008146653991. I thought you were on the same point, Janos, which was Stephen was saying. If you say there's no system of enforcement, we are ahead of you. We are saying system of enforcement against who? So we are saying that the people who must be held accountable is the parents.
Of course.
Well, that is where we are at. So we are saying that we need more enforcement, but the discussion on accountability.
Yeah.
Enforcement is the B part. It's not the A part.
Mm-hmm.
The A part is the A part is who we holding accountable.
Well, there's only one person to hold accountable.
Who?
The parents.
Well, that's where we are in the discussion.
Yeah. But what I am saying is, without a system of detection and a system of consequences, there is no accountability.
Given. That is a given.
Yeah?
That's a given.
So what I am saying is, if not the police responsible for A, the children in this neighborhood safe, the children in this neighborhood outside inside when they're supposed to be inside. You know, a simple thing in school, we used to run away from school and go in the arcade. And I remember a day a police pull up with the bus and pack all our way up in the bus and drop all our way to school. and wait patiently. Yeah? And accountability, again, the Education Act allows for criminal charges against people who do not make sure that their children are in school.
Okay, but
who is enforcing these laws?
Okay, we say so enforcement is good, but
it's key.
What I'm saying is, if police go and try to do all them things what you're talking about by every school, and then you need about 80,000 police and trying to go.
And you don't need that. What you need are a few police who are not going to let us the broken mirrors theory at work. They're not going to let anything pass that seems like it's slipping the community into a wrong place. They're not going to they're not going to drive by and watch people littering. You're not going to drive by and watch.
I remember when I was going to school, that a fella, a policeman used to come on his stand, you know, at a certain hour.
That's Smiley?
Yeah, yes, I think that was his name.
That's Smiley. What school you went to?
I went to QRC.
Oh, yeah.
But it had a policeman used to come on the mover stand on a morning, and because on the mover stand by HDC is where a lot of fight used to take place when them schools clash. But you ain't getting to fight, you know, because he getting car for you. He getting coffee. When you see that policeman come on his stand.
Smiley and Curia and St. Augustine and them kind of places. Smiley was that policeman to those areas.
Yeah.
Smiley, Dave James.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was that policeman.
Yeah.
And he was, I mean, he was really a policeman that exemplifies what police officers should be, because he was working traffic. He was a bike man, but if he catch you in folly, he carrying you home. Going home to your parents.
And we as a society, we are also guilty of condoning some of this children behavior. Because when the police get involved, say, leave them, leave the child. Look how we handling the child. And the children fighting away, you know, cussing long words, you know, in front of the police, you know. Yeah. But I agree with you here. They should be charged.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They should be charged. But then you have the same people who want them to be charged saying, you know, we're concerned. We don't want the boy to get a criminal record. What do we want? So you can't want law enforcement, and when law enforcement reach, everybody are singing a different story.
Let us be clear on something.
Yes.
The court has the ability, and they exercise it routinely. The court has no interest in giving young people who may be losing their way a criminal record. There are many detainees in YTC who have their records sealed. Yeah. The court is very mindful of the negative effect of a criminal record on a young adult's or a young person's life trajectory. Yeah. So that remedy is already somewhat in place and somewhat adjudicated on by the courts. So now the next thing is that we need exemplary police. We don't need 80,000 police. We need a police who takes a community seriously.
Yeah, we've seen it, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah? Very quickly, how we feel about Alderman Stuarty, who get a good dose out.
After the break, we'll get into that and more.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we dig up the ground. The nation, cause they don't know we were the crown. It's a big D. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together, because KFC is life.
It's a big D. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Join us.
A strictly local radio show, blazing the best positive hits out of TT. Hottest radio show.
Welcome. You are now locked in.
Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., blazing the very best in Trinbago music and more, sending the heartbeat of the Twin Islands straight to the world.
This service is a massive communication product that aims to provide a new media platform for local TT entrepreneurs.
You're now locked into one of the hottest radio shows. Send us your voice notes or call in live and rep your district. Whether you're in East, West, North, South, or Sweet Tobago, this is your show, your sound, your culture.
radio show.
Strictly local, hosted by the one and only DJ Flex 868. Don't miss it. Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. Only on the streets 91.9 FM. The vibes, the culture, the sound of Trinbago.
We blaze all the best in TT. Hashtag rep your district.
Mondays looking real good. Munchie Mondays at KFC. Get one piece of that signature chicken plus a regular side for just $19.95. Small price, big satisfaction. Start the week right. It must be KFC. Order now via the KFC TT app only. Follow KFC Trinidad and Tobago WhatsApp channel for all the deals.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
What?
So we're back live, and we explored a lot about that topic, and we will segue, and hopefully our caller who called with his issue, you know, which we took in jest, but we can discuss the seriousness of that matter, because during that little situation is a lot of crime in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, at least his partner might know he crying, and it have some men
all alone.
They looking to take matters in their own hands. They're not crying. If I can't have you, nobody can.
But the man who was wanting it doesn't have you.
For a while. For a while. You know about the shooting in Louisiana, where the man shot 6 children and then was killed. What would make you shoot 6 of your kids? So men.
He probably found out what the Single Fathers Association found out in his research.
There are serious issues, and we may make light of the comical side of it, and sometimes we don't do that to insult, because sometimes that is how you deal with your problems. Some fellas see and they meet in the band, they say, "Boy, I can't hold, you know." And buy a drink, yes? Yeah. let me drink and talk it out. But there's a group of men as well who don't talk. They don't drink.
They don't talk and they don't drink.
They don't talk and they don't drink. And they ain't going in the savannah and play football.
Yeah.
They waiting by your job. They waiting outside your work. In their mind, because we had that with a situation in South where the gentleman killed the woman and the child, and then himself. There are some men taking everybody out. But we are men here.
I don't think that type of behavior is something that normal men condone. And I mean, what irks me is, but then you can't blame women for feeling that.
No. It's not to blame anyone. But as morbid,
they blame all of us.
It's morbid as Senior Matheson was saying. That song's quite morbid. I totally believe that we have a morbid part of the society, whether we want to admit it or not. It sounds preposterous to me, because I went Sunday school. But there are some people who think like that. Life ends with relationships. Life ends when the girl walk out, or she remarry, or she choose somebody else.
I don't want to make it sound in this last hour, we usually take things down a little bit.
Yes.
But the thing is, so you know how that food was eaten all the time. And you get home, you start imagining what that man was doing to that woman.
I could relate.
And whether or not, whether he was better than you or not. And whether or not she was liking it or not. You start thinking, that's unthinkable. If it has some men,
I agree.
Right? Who can't deal with that. Because he called out upset. Right? And that's not that I don't want to say that that's a social issue. Maybe
it is absolutely a social issue.
Maybe it is. I don't know how to say it because men deal with things differently. Women deal with things differently, right? Women are more emotional. So you kind of expect how a woman would think in a situation like this. And sometimes we kind of, as men, we kind of downplay it with women and how women feel about certain things, right? But we are all human beings.
You see, part of our miscalculation has been that we feel love has a universal meaning. So love for me means that I will not harm you. For another man, it's the opposite. Love means
I will harm you.
That if you trespass,
yes,
I will harm you.
In fact, sometimes they will harm them preemptively.
Preemptively.
Yes, to make sure.
Yeah, just to make sure you go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are certain categories of men who, because of their jobs, their families are left for a long time unattended. There's the running joke about offshore men who earn a lot but acquire help in their earnings. Good. We talk about the men in the protective services who working at 48 hours and a 36 hour or 48 hour shift is plenty with a girl with a cell phone, you know.
Yeah.
Because it has some for us with plenty time.
Only time on that.
Only time. Darling, we is.
The only time is to eat your food. The only time them have is to eat your food.
Them fellas have whole day. You're looking good. You have seen you yesterday. What you had to help with? You know, the grass worker, we have to help with. Boy, he lazy. He only going to work, and when he come home, he tired and he sleepy, etc. So, socially, because of the demands, economics, and everything, there are certain categories of men who life is work and work is life. Life is work and work is life. But that's an understanding that your partner must have.
Or not.
Oh, well, if your partner doesn't have it,
or not.
Better you fence up your place, you know. Better you put your fence a little higher.
Yeah, I'm part chastity belt or something. Was that chastity belt?
Yes, sir. This is the problem that exists in our society.
Yeah.
There is a heavy premium on ownership, both
Well-
male and female.
Well, they say love is ownership, boy.
And as far as
you hear what the guy said, right? You call us and tell us, right?
Yeah, man.
Call her if you're listening. Call us again, right?
Yeah. We have to, or we should, it would be wise to begin to embrace the world in which a human being is not your property, woman or man.
Okay, so it's, I'm trying to translate what you might be saying and all like that because I heard what the gentleman said. So
Yeah.
what that fella who loved that woman,
Yes.
who was with that woman for so much time and trusted that woman,
Yeah.
and felt as though don't tell me nothing.
Go on a minute. I think he's calling.
Don't tell me nothing about that woman.
Good afternoon, caller.
Couldn't come and shine.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes, thanks for calling back. So, we're getting a little more into your story. And do you know how long your friend was together with this lady? You have any details of the relationship? Was it turbulent?
Yeah.
Was it
about 4 years.
4 years?
4 years, yeah.
And he
To
trusted
the
her.
exact.
And he trusted her. If a man says she'll go out, he ain't believing that.
No boy, that man, the treasure man with whole heart and soul and his fingernail, his toenail, everything, boy.
Did he admit?
Because when you say that man talk about that woman, boy, you could swear it's a goddess.
Yeah.
But we used to tell him, we used to tell him, boy, you have to think it down, your car. Nothing wrong with loving the woman. But to that extreme that you talking there, that's too much, boy.
She's a human.
And he only hear this.
She's a human. That man like you know something outside will to say 2 words and she's gone. She's a human.
Yeah, boy.
Were you all aware
But we
of
feel it
anything?
and
Were you all aware of anything in the relationship that maybe weighed on him that he didn't consider? Meaning, everybody is telling the good side of the relationship, eh? But he didn't tell you. He didn't tell you the girl too, but a couple times and there was in the station. He will tell you how much he loves her, because in some men mind, love and violence and love and these things go together. So they didn't get into that part of the story. But when you go in the station, you say, "Boy, she always in here." But he may not believe that either one, she would leave, or she is making her complaints to Officer Sweetman, because it have some sweet officers who will help you.
No, but even more than that, if you were to go more socially into this whole thing, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we get carried away, you know?
Yeah.
Men, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes men want to have established a certain kind of control on women.
Yes.
That they don't understand that by itself. That by itself is something that will make a woman go off course.
Correct.
So sometimes they, without even knowing it, they're narcissists. Right?
Yeah.
Narcissistic. Sometimes they deprive a woman of certain things, not necessarily things that are obvious, but they deprive a woman of certain things. They want to know who you're calling, who you're talking to, everything. And that, to a large extent, that's something that will push a woman in certain directions in other things.
I want to pick up just.
Use that kind of person, right?
I want to pick up from where Senior is going. I have Tobagonian family, right? And one of my uncles said to me years ago, in their twang, I don't have it. When you see sheep with a half rope and it rope bursts, little sheep going. Don't take that sheep and tie it up and pen it up, because you will see the sheep with half rope again. And we men sometimes do that. We create conditions that are ripe for that type of rebellion, that type of skullduggery, that type of deception. But sometimes the honest truth is it may not have been deception.
So voice
what I can tell you is umpires.
Yeah.
If you see that guy used to take something to take a day off, just to cook something nice and try for a woman. That man, but you know what I think is done for vampires? Because the woman that who own him is with his good friend, his good friend, a very good friend.
See?
But the mistake I think happened there.
That sets in another dimension we can talk about.
If that gentleman come to look for our friend, right?
Yeah.
And he is not home, the guy used to wait home until he come. He trusted that guy so much. He trusted that guy to drop the girl to work and to pick her up from work and bring her home. So I don't know in that time stretch, because there are a lot of talking.
Well, nothing wrong with that trust. That trust is good. I mean, it's good to trust your friends and that kind of thing.
Plenty thing wrong with that
right?
trust.
No,
Plenty
nothing
wrong with that trust.
But the problem is, if she not getting something, a key component of it, that friend could be providing that.
Finance?
No, not necessarily finance. Anything, any kind of
entertainment,
any
attention.
kind of thing that.
But you working at 48.
Any kind of thing. Any kind of thing. Listen, it's human beings you're talking about.
Go ahead, Mr. Janos.
There was a time in my life
You
where
get
one
horn?
of what? Yeah, I guess I'm one already.
All of us get horn. You
Yeah.
never get horn, Ronaldo?
You see the holes in my body, oh. You see the holes in my body? What kind of question? Go ahead, sir.
There was a time in my life where one of my important roles and functions was making ladies happy. Yeah?
In what we were.
Wherever we are could.
All right.
And
yeah, plenty of women like bear. They see your bear right from your mouth.
Boy,
you're a comedian.
That makes women happy, you know.
Larry Joseph, listen, the love of Larry Joseph, you know.
Here right from your mouth.
But
go ahead.
There was more than one situation where me and somebody who might have been in something had, and I was never really a hit it and quit it kind of fella. If me and you in something, we good.
Slow down. You're teaching us here. Hold on.
Wait.
What do you mean hit it and quit it?
After you.
You can come down on one hand?
We don't talk that on radio.
Yes.
But the point I'm making to you is that as I got, I think, more mature.
Yes.
And then by extension, the ladies that I was spending time with for whatever reason became more mature. I began to become aware through conversation of the nuanced reasons that a woman might feel disaffected in a relationship.
And there are a lot.
There are a lot, and they are as wide as the ocean is deep.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, sometimes it's just physical sensation, but sometimes it's much deeper than that. Sometimes it's just somebody's availability to have a conversation.
Well, like the best friend.
And that's what we're saying.
Yeah?
Right?
Sometimes it is that they're so angry about little things. You are, like, I know my wife has been blue mad sometimes when I just leave something in the sink. Today I get before I leave a mango seed in the sink. I'm not giving that two thoughts. I now realize that that's something that has bothered my wife deeply. Not the mango seed specifically.
Yes.
It's just a little habit.
Yeah.
You know? That I had to be more mindful of because it's pissed off my wife.
Yeah.
So it had all kind of reasons that woman will reach there. And the thing about women is they have a long fuse. But when it is that the fuse, they reach the next end of that fuse, and they allow that person now to comfort them in whatever way, oftentimes that's the end of the relationship. Or, according to the situation, the woman might never think of betraying because it's a betrayal, you know. That's why the man wants to harm, you know.
Yeah.
He feels betrayed, my brethren, my girl, my wife. You know how much I build into this person. And they just go in and do what they want. But they don't have the ability to take themselves out of the situation.
You ever went into a relationship knowing that this relationship may not last forever?
Yeah, most of them.
Right. So you're going to all the relationship thinking that.
Yeah.
Caller, are you all familiar with the helper that he had, the guy who was helping him, the friend? You all know the friend as well?
We know him.
No.
We know him.
Caller, hold on. Caller, let me warn you, you're before the tribunal here, right? So I want to get the picture.
Yes, sir.
Both the victim and the perpetrator are among the group of friends.
God.
So everybody knew that.
Yeah, this song like everybody knew.
No wonder this man.
Caller, is it that you all suspected?
We had some, but we couldn't confirm it.
You couldn't confirm it?
Okay. Now, what happened?
Yes.
How it came out?
Yeah.
She and our friend had a fallout. Bad, real bad. And she spilled the beans.
She and the helper.
That was the confirmation. And then we went to the guy now, who we know. And then he confirmed it. And then when we were saying ourselves, it's just that one time. That was going on a while.
Okay.
Wow. So
it was going on a while.
Why are you saying wow?
Is the victim
why are you saying
is the victim angry with the woman alone, or he angry at his partner as well?
Well, he wants to know how he partner could do that. If he calling himself his friend.
Yeah.
That is me do me, you know that kind of way. That is me do me, my friend. So this is like betrayal on both sides.
Yes.
Why he don't want to link? He don't want to link because he keep repeating he wanted dead. I can't live because apparently he feeling betrayal by both by the woman and with
let
the
me ask you one question. What is your friend age? The one who don't want to live again?
He could be about 40, 46, 47.
Big man like that, boy?
Wow.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
guys, in all seriousness,
Yes.
I have a good businessman partner, and we were talking the other day.
You eat food?
No. I didn't know that nearly 2 years now we separated from his wife. So I like, but when all this happened, the man like literally living in our apartment. And we had a conversation, and he told me, this is the kicker here. He said, Gerald, it has so many men in their 50s going through whatever shade of this thing in terms of separation, horn, wherever. So he told me that a group of them, I don't know any other of them, they got together and they started to have a men's support group, and they actually hired a psychologist to come in and do group sessions with them.
So a group of them was getting on?
I don't know. I don't know.
But listen.
I don't know the backstory of this thing, but the point.
Clearly, all you need I had a give me a little routine. I don't know slow because I mean something wrong in Trinidad. If men understand what's going on here, or you all hear what Ronald feels say, all you hear the research he came up with.
Yeah.
I mean, let me get real now. This Trinidad Tobago. All you know what's going on?
You saw the OnlyFans statistics the other day? How much money we were spending on OnlyFans?
I just had 2 million US.
Oh, well, you ever try to get US in the bank?
I have a different set of problems.
Okay, all right. But caller, so what is his status right now? You all talking to him still? Is he getting professional help, or he's not at that place yet? He's just very sad.
Now, when we're talking to him, but that's the reason why I call this program, because you all sound very, education and so on. And I say I have to call the program this evening because I'm listening to you all.
Yeah. Well, there are
so
spaces.
I know that I would have gotten some good advice.
Yeah, there are spaces where he could get professional help.
When I leave here, I go in across there.
Yeah.
So I just want to have something strong to tell him, because the last meeting he was in a mess.
Wow.
See why I say everything that's beginning.
So I just want to have something positive to say along with my friends.
You see why I always saying everything that's begin with woman, crime and everything? Because look what they do now. All they have to go and spend time with a man because of a woman.
Don't spend time, spend money. Right? If the gentleman is on the verge of harming himself, you need to get a psychologist. And that gentleman needs to get psychotherapy urgent.
But that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. The best person to do is their friends. Talk to you, show you why life is important. Probably have a bachelor party or something.
There is, and I'm saying this in all earnestness, and I mean part of this is that we seriously paying attention to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and that's part of the problem. We all smiles. It is a slightly mirthful conversation, but the tragedy is real. What the gentleman is going through is real, and do not try to do it yourself if you really believe that the gentleman is on the edge. There are mental health professionals out there. Get the gentleman in front of a psychologist. This is a psychological injury that has to be treated.
And it's taboo. Sex is taboo, and we have heard a lot of complainants, especially men, especially even in domestic violence cases, say that law enforcement don't take them seriously.
Yeah,
there's laugh. You go in the station and say you get horn and you're not thinking right.
I remember in June of 2024.
Yes.
I was in Chicago.
Yes.
On the Chicago Bridge.
Yes.
And looking up on the Trump Tower.
Yes.
You could hardly see the man small, almost like an ant.
Yeah.
Right?
He jumped?
He was looking to jump off.
Wow.
And he had police, he had fire services, he had all kind of people.
Yeah.
Real police and thing. Trying to talk the man, psychologist, trying to talk the man off the roof. He didn't jump off. They eventually get him off. And it was because of his girlfriend.
Wow.
Right? So in societies, other societies that take these things very serious, but not to charge you man or anything because people will do what they do.
Yeah.
But to talk people out of
Self-harming,
harming themselves because of these kind of situation. But the thing is, one of the things as a trainee, I was saying I was in the company of a good friend, and she was saying, I was saying, boy, what's all this that thing about let's tell him I want to jump, let him jump.
You said that.
You know, actually.
Yeah.
And she was saying, no, you can't say that up here. I mean, that's a serious thing.
Yes, it is. It is. It's a very serious thing.
It's a serious thing. But, me being me, sometimes I tend to try to put people in my own position. My heart is really hardened. I really care what you do, personally. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be saying on the radio.
Yeah, but have you always been like that?
Well,
or did you become like that? Because some men could reach where you are, but they ain't reached there yet.
Well, okay. So
is it that you were always like that?
No, I was not always like that.
Right.
I get hurt tired.
Right.
But this is not because I got hurt. This is probably because of experience over the years. Because I do some hurting too.
Okay.
Right? And the thing is, one of the things I've come to the ultimate understanding is that people, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, will be people. And if I go into a relationship, knowing that there'll be an end to this relationship at some point.
No relationship is fair.
Right? So, I have that deep inner consciousness that people will be people. And human beings are naturally weak. So people will do things that you're not expecting them to do. Although you now leave them home or you now leave them wherever and they feel nice and whatever, but they will go to somebody else.
People like what they like.
Right? So I am just like that. I don't know. I wish if everybody could be thinking.
Caller, on a serious note, I know we're keeping you on the phone long. Continue to provide support for this, your friend.
Yeah, good friend.
You all have two friends you used to deal with. The victim and the helper. You all have to talk to the helper too.
What you tell the helper? The helper don't eat already.
No, but what you see, he may not understand how his actions will have issues with the group.
Sure you understand.
No, with the group.
I'm sure you
the
understand.
helper commit no crime. Yes. The
No,
dynamics,
he didn't commit that. It's not about that crime. It's group dynamics, and men must have code. Otherwise, we'll be lying in the bar, and you walk up to shoot he. And all of we lying there.
Yeah.
So we can't stop or control the actions of our friends all together in the group. But if we all linemen, you, I, and Stephen, when you want to eat grass, don't go home by me now. And when I want to eat grass, let me go home by Stephen. If you go home by John don't line with me. It's not right, but it makes it easier for the group dynamics because they have to survive as men. They have to continue to be together. And you would know you can't stop treachery and treason, but you would still want to know that men have a little loyalty to the groups.
Yes,
you understand?
So, Mr. Rollins, let me share something with you quick. They are the women who you entertain, or who are entertaining.
Yeah.
And they are the women who make you change everything you thought in your
Caller, let me take this call, huh? All right? Stay off.
All right.
Continue to listen
off here.
Yes.
You want me to stay online?
Yes. No, continue to listen to us off air, and you can call back just now because we have some other callers calling in. Callers, you could call in.
Okay.
And before we continue, we're examining how men deal with infidelity and other treacherous things in relationships. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Guys, ladies, whoever listening, we're dealing with men. Do men downplay the effect of infidelity? Do we say, man, I could handle it? But when it reach, when you see that car park up outside, you want to kill, shoot, you're talking gun, you ain't no gun, but you're threatening to do harm. Do we downplay the effects because of machoism? We macho.
I think this call here is a good example that no matter what other men will.
Yes, good. We know
other men will be amused by a misfortune.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate. I mean, as much as we take in this call and this topic seriously, if we had to be honest with ourselves, the amusement of the situation is not lost on us.
Let me take this call. Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. He's reconnecting a bit. Let me just give him some time. He's a usual caller, but sometimes his services is a little bad. You know, that whole macho front affects, I mean, we tell our boys that, don't cry.
Cry,
and
brother.
stuff,
Cry, brother.
But for some men, the opposite of cry is kill, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably reach self-actualization in that area and a number of other areas.
Yeah.
I don't depend on anybody or anything like that. And so too is my feelings.
Yeah.
That is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because then you come across as you don't really care about anybody.
Yeah.
But I could understand, you know, a man who might think that he could never get on because of what he doing and what he providing and that kind of thing. That in my mind is a man who is sick in his head, right?
Yeah, that's an incurable disease.
Yeah, that is an incurable disease.
Yeah.
You know, I could understand a man who believes in love in that kind of way. That too is a sick man too, right?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
That's your opinion, yes.
Right? The thing is, the Bible tells you that the flesh is weak, and we live in a time, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, where kind of like anything goes, right? And this might be a bad thing to say on radio, but the kind of exposure we have with, you know, with women and men and places they go and that kind of thing, and it is very easy for certain things to happen.
Let me see if the caller is ready. Good afternoon, caller.
Call us from your phone. Yeah, WhatsApp probably giving trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's a usual caller, but something is happening with the connect.
Right? So what I'm saying is that I don't want people to harden the heart and that kind of thing. Marriage is good. People
Marriage
need
is
to
good.
believe in something. People need to love. People need to have that feeling for family and that kind of thing. All that is good. Not everybody like that, but all that is good. And but guard yourself. Well, not guard yourself, but protect your sanity also. Knowing that, you know, put up some kind of fence. I don't know how you're doing that.
And if you're talking about somebody that, and that's the thing, yeah? Like I know, for instance, the wife I have, I never, ever, ever, if for any reason me and her don't make it.
Yeah.
In the first instance, anything she do, I deserve it.
That woman I hope that woman
that is a
listening.
better woman than I deserve.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If for any reason.
You're a lucky guy.
Yeah. If for any reason me and her don't make it, me want to get again. And that is something, that is a stage I realize many mature men get to, where after they have that great love,
You mean you don't want no girl, you mean you don't want no more commitment.
but I might even want a girl again. To be
You don't
Okay,
want
okay.
a girl again? So what, you want a doll? You want a doll from China or something? What you want?
Go ahead, roll on.
You're done with
OnlyFans.
Huh?
Oh, okay. He's going to be a watch. Let me see if let me see if this caller. Caller, good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
You all help me now, gentlemen?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Nice. I know the service is the best place for that. I didn't get much of the program, but based on what I hear, I just want to say that we as men have to man up.
Yes.
And I know it's easier said than done, because you don't have no program in your entire life, whether it's going to school, it have some program to introduce you into the different types of relationships, what is a healthy relationship, and all these different things. Right? But we as men have to man up, because the majority of the issue kind of leans towards financial state that a man is left in, along with the emotional state, when he feels that he has invested all this into who was once his significant other.
Yeah.
But we really have to man up, and there's no excuse for any behavior outside of not manning up.
Yes.
Understanding All right, thanks. Yeah, though we, all right, yeah, thanks. Though we understand that we don't have no classes to teach you how to be the best person in a relationship or all that, but we have to use what is available to us, which is the history of what continues to happen. And it's real telling that you talk about creating a culture, Mr. Matheson, because I believe that that is our number one challenge for us here in Trinidad, right? We continue to go down a certain road, even though it is detrimental or bad for us, because we believe it's culture. But culture is something that we create. This is the reason why you will feel so out of place to Trinidad and Tobago, but it's normal in Trinidad, because that is the culture here. But we so love to hold on to culture that the change is difficult, right? The change is difficult, but it's a multifaceted approach if we have to treat with any of these issues that we just talk about on a daily basis, right? So somebody might talk about enforcement when persons just really run afoul and out of it. It would need that enforcement to fill that gap, but it's not just enforcement alone. It will be nice if a subject on relationships could be introduced into the school to make people aware. Not everybody will absorb it and use it for their benefit, but at least it will be in the atmosphere, and it might lead people to make better choices.
Yes. Caller, do you think we downplay as men the effects of infidelity on our mental health and our emotions? You think we're still living in past glory of being macho when somehow we want to cry? We want to cry in front of our friends. We want to kill. We want to shoot. We want to, this thing about how many fish in the sea we could get an next girl is all talk.
When the next man
It's not so much that we downplay it,
Yeah.
but the sentiments is not a general sentiment. So you could find people at any part of the scale existing.
Right.
Whether furthest to the right or furthest to the left.
Right.
There needs to be a striking of balance,
Yes.
an establishment of balance. So, for instance, on the financial side, if you are supporting your significant other, wisdom or some teaching in relationship will help you to understand, okay, you give she 50, give yourself 50. So that at the end of it, you wouldn't have been giving her 100 and leaving yourself with 0, so that if she chooses to exit the relationship, you in such a not only dire emotional state, but you have to deal with the finances that you don't have anymore.
But caller, how do you do that in an existing age where some of the theory says that you must give her 90 and keep 10? You must give her the vessel and you travel.
Well, what do you do is you can continue to be foolish and follow the status quo.
But if she had a job trying to school, you give her the vessel and you travel.
I'm not with anything any of yours saying right now. Listen.
Go ahead, caller, go ahead.
What I'm saying, you could continue to be foolish, right, and continue with the status quo, or you could say, here what's going on. You need to drop the children to school, but I need to move around as well.
Yes.
It's nice to have a vessel, and because I love you, I don't mind traveling, But sense will tell me here what's going on. Better we hold up on the vessel, and we buy 2B15 for now.
Right.
Two wet man.
Yeah.
Move around, right? Yeah. And I wouldn't feel so foolish if you decide to pick up and leave, because you gone with the vessel and I still walking. And more than just the emotional part, it is the commitment.
Yeah.
Or
and,
Jerry, or during the day when she gone, after she come back from dropping the child, she moving around with Jerry driving the vessel.
Jerry driving which vessel? Jerry. Not that one, right?
Caller, you're so right, because it have some men talk about, listen to me, it had to build a house and had to walk past it, And I'm burning
But,
it
you
down.
know, as you,
I've heard men say, I am burning it down. And I would
as you
laugh.
say that, Mr. Rolex.
Yes.
I'm sure you hear these sentiments. Hold me, but don't leave me.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, this is a position that is realistic for many persons in society today.
Right.
Yeah, I
So,
would have a woman
yes.
say she prefer to be with a man who taking care of her and holding her than to be a man who's holding her and then taking care of her.
Wow.
And it could be, and it's on both sides of the fence.
Yes.
Because if you have little value for yourself, that will determine what you are going to accept. But if you have value for yourself, nobody could come to you with certain types of things. You will just make room for them to carry on and pass. But if you hardly have value for yourself and you feel, oh gosh, you can't do better than this, and you're so in love that you have to be dotish, then it's only time alone will tell you and show you that you're actually being dotish if the person does decide not to stay with you.
Well,
Right? Because,
well, caller, you have raised two very unscientific variables, which are love and common sense. And I don't know the relationship between the two, because that verdict is out there, because some things seem to be love and some things seem to be common sense.
A professor once told me, I don't know why he said it.
No.
But it was part of a discussion.
Uh-huh.
He said, show me any man who say he love, and he showed me a very foolish man.
Wow. Go ahead, caller.
No, you're making a very serious point there.
Yes.
And the thing about it, the reason why there is such this distance between love and common sense is because many of us do not understand what love is. We feel love is what they show you on TV, right? Because sometimes in order to love somebody, you need to, how to put it, boy, it may not require that softness or that soft touch. It just might require you being direct.
Right.
Because you have some foresight or what. But it's love that will make you use the appropriate approach to the person at whatever time. But you need emotional intelligence in order to operate at that level. Without that.
Wait, listen, let me say this.
Yeah.
Now, caller, and to the listeners, I don't want you to misunderstand me when I talk about love, right? I know that there are three kinds of love. Really forward, there are three kinds of love, right? Agape, filio, and the other one, like eros.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about here, eros, right?
Yeah.
That love you have for one and that kind of thing. I still maintain love. I love for people, love for humanity, love for, love like Christ will love you, see everybody as equal and that kind of thing. I'm known for being a person like that, very kind and that kind of thing. But in terms of that eros we talk about, that love we talk about, where you fall for a woman and you'll do anything for her and you believe she wouldn't think, and I don't believe in that kind of love.
No, I like how you point out, right? But I really want to do in the purest sense of the word and its meaning, I would try to find something different than love to describe that, because it's more foolishness than love. You see, the feelings, right? The overwhelming feeling.
All of you all.
The overwhelming. Yes. Hello?
All of you. I'll stop all of you all. This is not...
Okay.
Okay. In the first instance, and if we had more time, this would have turned back into money one day.
Go ahead.
Marriage is an economic relationship.
Okay.
First and foremost.
It is
what people use it for is another story that's separate. Marriage is where we are agreeing before the law and before the Lord that we are going to team up for common goals. That could be procreation, that could be wealth creation, that could be generational wealth, it could be any number of things.
To provide that part of humanity that is sometimes understood by society.
Indeed.
Right.
So, I am saying that if you have a partner, don't half step on being a partner to your partner.
Give all your money when you get paid.
All them kind of
just understand that you're doing
all,
that because
all them kind of thing. Now, you as the unfortunate reality is that many women in our society are predatory in nature. And many women in society also do not fully understand themselves. So when their feelings start to shift, or how they perceive themselves differently begins to cause an effect. When women go into a different phase of life, the person in 20s, 30s, and 40s, 50s is 4 different eras, 4 different biochemistries. It are all kind of things that could go wrong, and maybe the partnership doesn't stand up to that, and the eros not sweet again. And some people need the eros to be sweet. Without the eros being sweet, life loses its meaning.
So you just fall back into the agape. I love you. I think about you.
No.
I like you. You're a nice person, but I really love you in that kind of way again.
No, and that's the heart of love. If it is your love is for a season, you wasn't supposed to get married in the first place.
So then what you're talking about, but that's the
Yeah,
world.
but
People
Senor
divorce all the
Llanos,
time.
why do you use marriage as your context? We have no evidence here that marriage is a discussion. We're talking about love, and love exists before marriage.
Exactly.
So marriage puts a different spin on it. So let's go before marriage. We're talking about the man in the corners there, he love the girl love he. They're not married.
Love is a meaningless word.
No, let me interject.
Maybe that way my professor was going.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller.
Let me interject a little bit. I ain't mind joining love and marriage together, right? Because it really supposed to more or less have the same core values. But what actually happens in society is we are surrounded by contracts, right? Or more or less everything is like contractual agreement, which leaves you with a way out or a clause to protect you, some sort of protection. Love and marriage, however, doesn't operate in that sphere of being a contract. It is a covenant, which means even if we are in a relationship, right, and it's supposed to have love existing on both sides, the love that is coming from me to you is not dependent on what is coming from you to me. That is why marriage is different, and it's a covenant as opposed to a contract, because in many relationships out here, we operate like if it's a contract. So based on how you treat me, that will determine my response, right? This is why I say we need a lot of knowledge and emotional intelligence to really be able to function and operate in love and wisdom, because you could operate in love and be foolish, right? But without the wisdom, which is a characteristic entrenched in love and what love actually is, then that is why I don't want to open up love so much and give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different meanings, right? Because it's only love if it has all the characteristics that are required to call it that, right? So, for instance, if you are operating on a covenant level and you loving this person the right way, providing, protecting, you name it, and you're not receiving that, you will continue to pour out that. But if you have wisdom, even in the absence of that person or that person doing you wrong, you will be able to move on, because there is wisdom in your love, right? And you would have not only been providing and protecting for that person, but you would have been showing some love to yourself also, right? But just loving somebody or the feelings that you have make you believe that you're in love with somebody and you're not loving yourself is not the true meaning of love. In order to be expressing or exercising that type of love that I am speaking about, that is tied to covenant values.
So caller, is it safe then, by those who talk about the 3 kind of love, eros, agape, and filio, and that kind of thing, to say that eros is a kind of superficial love, and maybe you could strike that out, And
or not superficial, not superficial. That might be too strong of a word, but I would say incomplete love.
right.
If that makes any
it's just a love based on the it's just a love based on surface emotion.
Right. So it has some characteristics that you will get in true love, but it doesn't have all the characteristics that true love encompasses. I hope that makes some sense.
That's the love I have a problem with. But okay. Yeah, and I love that is encourage people to marry and that kind of thing. You get some good sex and you get some good food and that kind of thing a few times, and you say, right, I could deal with this woman for the rest of my life.
You know, it goes so it go.
All right, caller.
All right, caller.
I hope my contribution was beneficial. Yeah, I love on this.
Thanks. No, I hear the contract covenant argument. I am not for the covenant.
Or not for the contract?
I'm not for the covenant application. I think that's more theoretical. But I know what a contract is, offer and acceptance.
Offer, acceptance,
right?
Consideration, intention to create.
Good. And marriage, for me, does all of that.
Yes.
Sentimentally,
yes.
I understand what a covenant is higher.
I have
Good?
no problem with marriage. My parents, my mother died a married woman.
Yes.
And they lived together for as long as I remembered.
Yeah.
Right? And my grandparents also.
Yes.
Most of my family.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I do believe in marriage. I believe in family. I believe in all those things. But I'm saying, in today's world, and if you look at what people passing off as love, if you look at if you look at even the marriage where people having divorce, and you go back 3-4 years after these young marriages and you see what's happening, you'll understand the challenges that I am having and men are having with respect to this thing you call love and marriage and that kind of thing now.
Well, the guy in question, because we're ending off soon, so we're gonna get back to the basis for which we were having the conversation. His feeling of betrayal and deception is real on both ends. Whether that is a legitimate expectation of his, that's a different question.
Correct.
Because Stephen will argue that humans will always be humans. And I think that is my issue with our concept. God is omniscient and omnipotent. We say that, right? Knows all things and sees all things. And we turn our backs on God every other day. Accident happened today, we judge for the next month. Soon as we get better, we back out. Rum time. That's what we do to a supreme being. How do we relate to a being that is not supreme? How can our covenant between each other be on the same with someone who could wink and take our breath? I think that's a very high bar. Because as humans, listen to me, some people just make it to 49 years of marriage and go. And some people never marry. As a matter of fact, there's one school of thought that say, listen to me, once you're married, that's the end of it. Because there's some people who live in what we call common law for years. And they say, well, boy, do the right thing. And our next guy will say, boy, you see, before it was going good until the land became hers and she get half of this. And those are the discussions that you have.
Can we squeeze in 5 minutes on Monday? It is not even 5, 3.
Swing it. Go ahead. Swing it.
It is of a critical nature for people who are considering entering into the covenant and the contract of marriage.
Yes.
To plan the business of this covenant and this contract, which is one of the core issues. And what I am also here to say is that estate planning and divorce planning, we don't have any prenuptial agreements in Trinidad and Tobago, but there are other ways to plan your financial path that you're going to pass when you're in marriage, and how it is assets are going to be treated.
No, I'm going to be devil's advocate in this 5 minutes.
But prenuptial could exist.
So are you advocating there?
Yes.
Match your money instead of matrimony?
Yes.
So are you advocating then Jamie Foxx's fall for your type? Because if you talk about match your money and not matrimony,
yes,
you put one gender at a disadvantage sometimes, huh?
Or sometimes not.
And sometimes not.
And I will also point out something to you, Pastor.
Before you reply,
yes,
I would say to you that thesis is sometimes the reason for the problems we're having. Because people go into therefore with assessment, they value. You see how you looking like Ecliffe?
Yeah.
You will get you. But somebody like me wouldn't get you, and that becomes the basis for the contract. And men who look like Ecliffe are not stupid, eh? They're not stupid because, listen to me, because of the imbalance. Because remember, the lady upscaled, right? She upscaled, right? He understands his economic dominance. He understands that that is not his economic equal. And he dominates the relationship.
I want to say something there quickly.
Unless he divorces and she wins the lotto.
Which is always the case. I have been working for a number of years as a family business consultant.
Yes.
And I have had the privilege of being very intimately exposed to first generation business success stories.
Go ahead.
And a lot of times, the reason, the driving force behind this person's empire is the wife who didn't have that much coming in.
Right.
And sometimes it's the wife who really and truly creates
the drive, yes.
The drive.
Yeah.
So I am here to tell you, I'm a great believer in the covenant and the contract of marriage.
Yes.
And I have seen it work. Yeah. Where even when people split, you know, I don't call my clients and them name, even when they split and they look at everything, a woman might have a mister and the man might have a girl, but all the backhoe and all the excavator and all the property
they did together.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
So there is absolutely an important part of the conversation, and sometimes we in love, she looking good, the sex sweet, the food nice, whatever the case is, and we never go about the practical things about we want to go through this partnership in all seasons. And as I always say, to close and say something controversial, I always say, if it is that all it takes for the person that you make a lifelong promise to you and that person to mash up is to jam somebody else, the promise was never that serious to begin with. Yeah? We going through different stages in life.
Well, we live in a red flag culture where everything is a red flag and a red flag, and he ain't working, he ain't have no permanent job, red flag. He working for the protective services, I mean he have a gun, red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, he ain't making double digits, red flag. So I agree with you, however, that the seriousness about money and economics and equity is often overlooked when entering into these types of...
When negotiating the contract.
When negotiating the contract. And sometimes it's not, however, meant to become the center and replace the core values. It doesn't replace values.
It doesn't.
It's not that money replaces values, but you're saying money is as equally important.
Quite important.
I agree. Senior Matheson, take us out.
Well, again, today we had a very good show, and we are about to leave. So tomorrow we will see
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join